All right, first thing. Today, we're going to go find the area of parallelograms. We're reviewing that. Then, today, we're going to be able to decompose a triangle to determine its area. So the formula for the area of a triangle. Your homework today will be 13.2 and 13.4. Samantha. So we have rectangle, the formula. Area equals length times width, or area equals base times height. Parallelogram, I'm not going to write the whole thing because I'll misspell it. Parallelogram, area equals base times height. What about a square? What's that formula? Sam. Area equals length times width. What's another one? Liam. I'll come back to you. Emery.
Base times height.
Base times height. What's the other one? Good. So we use S squared, the side length squared. All of those should be written in your notebook. Then I have 2 problems for you to try. We have a rectangle here. The area equals 80.08 inches squared. The length equals unknown. The width equals 5.6 inches. I want you to find the length of this rectangle. Do I need to increase the size? See it? All right. That's question number 1. Number 2. You want to talk with your neighbors to solve these 2 problems. You can use a calculator, but you need to prove your answer. Meaning, use the equations that are over here. Eyes up here. I'll make sure we are focused so that we have a good understanding with these problems. All right, we have a rectangle here. The area is given to us. The length is unknown, and the width is also given. Where will we start to solve this problem? What are we going to use? Take something over here. Jordan. Good. The formula. So the formula of the area of a rectangle is area equals length times width. We're going to plug in the things that we know. So 80.08 inches squared is equal to the length, we don't know, times the width, which is 5 6/10 inches. Then, what are we going to do? Paige, it's going to be T-chart time. Because we have a variable that's not by itself. What do we do to both sides? Lila? 5 by 5 6/10 inches. Divide by 5 6/10 inches. The length should equal what? What did you get? Kaden? 14 3/10 inches. How could you check your answer to see if you're right? Michael? 5.6 minus 14.3. You got it. 14 3/10 times 5 6/10 should give us 80 8/800 inches squared. Are we good with that? All right, use that T-chart to solve for that problem. All right, parallelogram. Yay. What's the formula for the area of a parallelogram? Sam. Yes, area equals base times height. Do we know the area? No, that's what we're trying to solve for. Do we know the base of this parallelogram? Yes, what is it, Emery?
6 2/5.
Good, it's 6 2/5 times. What is the height of the parallelogram? Sydney. 4 1/2. Correct. Why? Michael. Yes. Because it has the 90-degree angle symbol here. Height has to be 90 degrees. That's why we are not using 7 1/4. It's not a height. It does not have a 90-degree angle. Okay. In my last class, someone said the answer was 3 1/5. Does that answer make sense? No. Where should our answer be around? What numbers? Kaden. 24. By doing 6 times 4, I would agree. If you round them both up, 7 and 5, 35. So anywhere between 24 and 35 would be your answer. What is the final answer? The area equals, Caitlin.
28 4/5.
We agree? Okay. Can you handle both of those questions? Awesome. Great. Okay. What is the formula for area of a triangle? What do you think, Gabe? Triangle. You don't need to write this down yet. Area equals base times height. Anyone else? Michael.
Area equals base times height divided by 2.
Anyone else? No one? If you guess and you're incorrect, is that okay? Yes. Any other guesses? Samantha. Someone else. Come on. Take a guess. Try. What do you think? Lila, you're thinking really hard, I can tell. Come on. What if you just guess correctly? It'd be amazing. Sam! Awesome. Anyone else? Brave enough to take a guess. And if you're right, how amazing that would be. If you're incorrect, woohoo! I got something wrong, and now I know I got what's right. Anyone else? Did I scare it out of you, Emery? All right, no one else. Okay. Do you want to know the formula for the area of a triangle?
Yes.
All right. Oh, Gabe. Like this? Perfect. Thank you. All right. You all have this piece of paper on your desk. What is this piece of paper? What shape is it? Kaden? It is a rectangle. How do we find the area of this rectangle? Alex? Good. Area equals length times width. Or, Lila? or area equals base times height. It's a 90-degree angle. Okay. What we are going to do is we are going to cut this piece of paper. This is what it looks like. We are going to make a cut from the top left to the bottom right. Just like that. If you do not have a scissors and your neighbor does, ask them nicely if you can borrow it when they are done. If neither of you have it, I can give you one to borrow. When we cut this piece of paper at a diagonal from the top left to the bottom right, what did we create? Caitlin? A triangle. We didn't create just a triangle. Samantha?
2 triangles.
We didn't just create 2 triangles. Emery?
A 90-degree triangle.
We did create 2 90-degree triangles. Owen? Yes, that's correct. What else? Samantha?
We made 2 shapes out of 1 shape.
We did, yes. Owen?
We created 2-dimensional right-angle triangles out of a single shape.
We're missing one word. We created 2 symmetrical or identical triangles, right? Put them together. Are they identical? All right. Remember when I told you in geometry, sometimes we assume things, right? Our cutting's not perfect, but we are assuming that they are identical. Change it. You can turn one around. They're on top of each other. They are 2 identical triangles. All right, voices up, eyes up here. If we wanted to find the area of the rectangle, what do we do? Area of the rectangle would be area equals, Samantha? What's the other one? Base times height. All right. Then we created 2 identical triangles. That was the whole rectangle. What can we do to find the area of 1 triangle? Leah? Divide it by 2. So Michael was correct. So the formula for the area of a triangle is base times the height, and you divide it by 2. It works. So 2 identical right triangles will always create a rectangle. 2 identical right triangles will always create a rectangle. Do it with your hand. With your hand. Right triangle. Imagine. Flip it. Made a rectangle. Flip it. Flip your hand. Here. Okay. All right. Eyes back up here. There is another formula that we use instead of base times height divided by 2. What is the same thing as dividing by 2? Emery?
Dividing by 4.
Dividing by 4 is not the same thing as dividing by 2. Sam? Multiplying by half. So, in your notebook where you have all those formulas written, you should write area equals 1/2 base times height. So that's a half times the base times the height. All right, so this works with right triangles. We can create any 2 right triangles Two identical rectangles are going to make a rectangle. We divide by 2. What if why would I go over? Does it all? It's probably good. Okay. Now, what if we have this type of triangle? How do you name that triangle? What type of triangle is it? Sam. This is an acute triangle. What type of triangle is this? Maddie. Obtuse triangle. Will these have the same formulas? Let's find out. You and your partner. I want one of you on your big triangle. I want you to draw an acute triangle. One of you will do that. Make it a big one, not super small. Then you cut, you put them on top of each other, then you cut it out, so you would make 2 identical acute triangles. That make sense? The other person will cut out an obtuse triangle. Cut it out, and you'll have 2 identical obtuse triangles. Does that make sense? Decide who's cutting out what, and go ahead and do that. Okay, we're not cutting anymore. Let's put them down. We're not cutting anymore. Okay. When you create it, or you cut your 2 triangles. Okay. We cut out 2 identical acute triangles. If you put them together, what did you create? Caitlin, a parallelogram. I'm going to do my best I can to draw this here. Should be turned sideways a little bit. Two identical triangles create a parallelogram. Two identical acute triangles create a parallelogram. So what is the formula for the whole parallelogram? What's the formula for the area of a parallelogram? Lila. Base times height. We only want 1 triangle though. So we, Annabella, we divide it by 2 to get the area of the triangle. So the formula for the area of an acute triangle is base times height divided by 2. It's the same thing. This one's a little harder to create. We draw this one. What did I create? Jordan. Not a rectangle. This is not a 90-degree angle. This is an obtuse angle. We have 2 sets of parallel lines, though. Gabe, a parallelogram. The formula for the area of this whole parallelogram is base times height. We only want 1 triangle, so that is divide by 2. So an obtuse, 2 identical obtuse triangles create a parallelogram. Divide that by 2, you get the area of 1 triangle. Okay? That makes sense?
Yeah.
Are we sure? That wasn't a confident look.
Yes.
Are you ready for a problem to try?
Yes.
There we go.
No.
Right, go ahead. We are going to, on your notebook, solve for this triangle. It is an obtuse triangle. If you need help drawing an obtuse triangle, what you do is draw a line that is parallel with the bottom of your paper. if I go straight up, I would make a 90-degree angle. I want to be bigger than 90, so I go out. Then I connect. That is an obtuse triangle. All right, here are my numbers. This is 7 inches. We gotta talk about something real quick. Does anyone know the name of this line here? Long line. Or here, this long line. The longest line is called, it only works on this one. Only on the right angle. It's a really cool word. Owen. No. Slope, that's a good word. Page. Not horizontal. It's called the hypotenuse. It's called the, all say it together. Hypotenuse. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Hypotenuse. Hypotenuse is the longest line in a triangle. Right triangle. Okay? So, 5 triangles. There's this length. This length here is 11 inches. This one is the longest, so it's 14 inches. This here is going to be find the area of the obtuse triangle. You may talk with your neighbor. It's a new triangle, but it's the exact same triangle. All right. What is the formula for the area of a triangle? Nikki.
Base times height divided by 2.
Base times height divided by 2. Okay, what is the base of this triangle? Liam. 7 inches is right here. 7 inches. Times. What is the height of the triangle? Owen. 4 inches. Why is it 4 inches? Jordan. Good. The height has to be 90 degrees. If you look inside this triangle, there is no way we can do the height inside of the triangle. Because it goes from the base to the very top. The base is here. We can't make it to the very top. So you do it on the outside of it. It's still the height of the triangle. Does that make sense to everyone? Times 4 inches. Then we divide by 2. 7 times 4 is 28. 28 divided by 2 is 14 inches squared. All right, do not pack up yet. Ellen. If you multiply the base times, that will not work every time. It just happened because this was 4. And the half of 4 is 2, so 7 times 2 is 4. Okay. Won't always work that way. I like your thinking though. Now use the formula. All right. Then try on your calculators. Not pack up yet. On your calculators, let's try. 1/2. The base is 7 times 4. That's a multiplication in between there because it's a half b, which is a half times the base. If you don't know how to use the fraction, you change it to a decimal. Still should get 14. All right, your homework is 13.2 and 13.4. Please do the best that you can. Come to class tomorrow with any questions.